Shout out to Ticket TV for being the first one to report this. It hasn't been confirmed, but it is feared. An MRI will confirm it, but it is feared that Golden State Warriors center Demarcus Cousins may have suffered a torn quad tendon in the first quarter of their Game 2 matchup against the Los Angeles Clippers. I'll be putting a link to the article in the description box from NBA.com. Golden State Warriors center DeMarcus Cousins made an early exit from Monday's Game 2 against the LA Clippers, suffering a left quadricep injury while tumbling after a loose ball with 8.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Cousins wasn't contacted on the play and immediately stayed down as the Clippers corralled possession and pivoted up court in transition. He immediately flagged the training staff and began heading toward the locker room, walking gingerly on the injured leg. The team updated his status shortly afterward, announcing he wouldn't return and will be undergoing an MRI within a day's time. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski later reported that there's, quote, significant concern, unquote. The injury is a torn left quad, but hope it's a strain. During the post-game news conference, head coach Steve Kerr told reporters Cousins' injury was, quote, pretty significant, unquote, and that he expected Cousins, quote, will be out a while, unquote. In 30 games this season, Cousins averaged 16.3 points, 8.2 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.5 blocks in 25.7 minutes. If it is a quadricep tear, it is devastating news for the Warriors, and it is a tremendous personal setback for DeMarcus Cousins, who was having such a successful return from the Achilles tear just last year, and he was only playing in his second ever playoff game, and I want to say this right now. People out there who are saying things like, this is karma, praying for the Warriors to lose. Look, first of all, you're absolute scumbags. You're pieces of shit. Okay? And there aren't words enough to describe how low you guys are and how you have absolutely no heart. Okay? This is a man's livelihood. This will dramatically alter his financial situation, to be honest with you. I don't see any teams offering anything to him of what he would have gotten prior to this injury. I agree with Ticket that he probably will have to re-sign with the Warriors. And I'm very concerned at the fact that it was a non-contact injury. And when I see that, it starts reminding me. See, usually you start seeing this in guys a little bit older than he is. But I remember Derrick Rose started having like a lot of these non-contact injuries after the initial Achilles injury that he had. You know what I'm saying? But at least Rose would be going through like a dribble motion, or he's penetrating or something like that. For a guy to just get injured, and it's not like a lot of contact. I start, and as big as he is, a big man, just knowing how a lot of guys in the past, their bodies started breaking down, Yao Ming, it really makes me nervous for DeMarcus Cousins and his future. I hope I'm totally wrong. There are some guys who come back from injuries and have been were very productive for a long period of time. Okay, Rik Smits is one guy to come to mind. Rik Smits had a lot of feet problems in his career, but he was able to play for an extended period of time until he had to retire a little bit prematurely at age 34. But he had a long period of health for him. Not to switch sports, but Mark McGuire suffered from a lot of injuries, especially to his back and to his legs and knees and whatnot, to the point where he almost retired when he was 31 years old. For whatever reason, people want to say steroids, whatever. He was able to have a very historically productive career from 1995 to 2000. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what's in the works for Demarcus Cousins. He might, and hopefully he will regain his all-star form. But it's a good chance that, you know, Demarcus Cousins, the guy that we are accustomed to seeing, the guy that was putting up 27 and 12, 27 and 13, he may not be that type of player in the future. But he's still a productive center. And now, Andrew Bogut, it's such a big signing now that the Warriors reacquired him. But it makes me nervous with him because he's older. I think Bogut is, 34? 34, 35? And he's had a history of injury. We all remember that he got injured during the 2016 NBA Finals. And remember, he got injured, the first minute of his career with the Cavaliers. So I just hope that Boogie is able to come back from this, man. And like I wanted to say to my other point, you don't ever want to beat a team like the Warriors undermanned or when they don't have a player, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to beat a team straight up. You never want to beat a team without one of their key cogs, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's a somewhat illegitimate. Now, injuries happen, and I'm not saying that the team that beat them should feel a certain type of way, but to me, it's like an illegitimate victory. It's like almost like when the Knicks beat the Bulls in '94, you know? And I remember, like, watching that game and being so heated because I'm like, dude, you guys went fucking 7 games with us, and we didn't even have Mike. And y'all celebrate. You know, good and well, we had Jordan, we would have busted that ass again. You know? And that's why Elijah won, busted their ass in the finals. But getting back to the point, man, I hope DeMarcus Cousins is able to come back from this, man. I saw the possibility that it could be a strain, but then Ticket was saying the doctors believe that it is a torn quad. And if the doctors are saying that from their expert medical opinion, then it's probably like a 98% chance that they're correct. Okay. Wow, man. You know, it just reminds me so much of Derrick Rose, because Derrick Rose's injuries are fresh in our memories. The struggles that he had, also the struggles that Grant Hill had and Penny Hardaway had. I just don't want to see that happen to DeMarcus Cousins, because at one point in time, this guy was the best center in the NBA. Not that long ago. You know, 2 years ago, DeMarcus Cousins, some people will say Joel Embiid, but pretty much DeMarcus Cousins, 2-3 years ago, he was the consensus best center in the NBA. Never a defensive, monster, but overall, man, the things that he could do, you know what I'm saying? And from what I understand, despite the media presentation, the media projection of this guy that, he, is a surly, evil person from what I've, read and from what his Warriors teammates said, he was actually a really good guy, man. You know, to be honest with you, man, a lot of these guys, like a Demarcus Cousins, like a Dennis Rodman, like a even maybe Barkley to an extent, but not so much, but definitely Rasheed Wallace. A lot of these guys were just sensitive, man. You know, they're just sensitive people. And they're sensitive and they're emotional. And the way the media spins shit pisses me off because guys like DeMarcus Cousins and Dennis Rodman and Rasheed Wallace, to a lesser extent Barkley. Barkley's comedic persona kind of offsets it a little bit. But those two guys, they was always perceived as thugs, right? But John McEnroe was the bad boy of tennis and was probably worse than almost all these guys. But he was just edgy, the wild guy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take shit. It spun differently. So it always just pisses me off, man. But tell me what you guys think, man, about this devastating injury to DeMarcus Cousins and the Warriors. And I guess I also got to ask, too, how do you guys feel like this injury affects the Warriors' championship aspirations?